Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ECS Season 2. My name is Dowse, and joining me to my right is the beautiful Jack Evans. We are going to be your casters for tonight. Bring it to the desk, which means that I get to do a James Bardolph and...
You touched his bell.
I touched his bell. I had to do it.
That sounds kind of bad.
The only innuendos aside, we are going to be getting into game very shortly. Unfortunately, there has been a delay, and we appreciate the patience that you guys have shown with us getting into this game. Currently, Team Liquid are at Northern Arena, and so they're having a couple of technical issues on their end in actually getting into the server. So that is what is causing the delay. But what that means is that we get to do the fun part, which is the analysis, and what we think is what we really want people to be looking at when it comes to this game. Team Liquid versus Team Luminosity Gaming. Now they're Team Luminosity. TLG.
TLG versus LG.
Yes, that's it. So Team Liquid...
It's very clear.
Yeah, very clear. Team Liquid have had a rough time recently. With their recent results, you know, their best result recently was their third and fourth position, place, I guess, result at ESL New York. Other than that, they haven't managed to get out of group stages this recent Northern Arena, and also haven't got out of group stages for the Pro League Finals.
It's kind of puzzling, really, because you know, after coming with that very strong finishing, and it was one of their first major tournaments, having added Pimp to the team, you know, all of us thought that maybe this would be able to springboard another great run, and Liquid had already, you know, last year had some really historic runs too. It seems to be like a thing with NA teams, especially, you know, like they make a roster change, like Cloud9's roster changes when they added Freakazoid and Sean, and then when they changed the current roster as well, and it spurs some good form. In fact, Cloud9 are still enjoying that effect, right, with Automatic, the latest addition for them. Sort of Liquid's, it seemed like they peaked at ESL1 New York, and then things have kind of gone down the toilet for them in a number of respects. But, you know, we were mentioning on the desk, and Janko's largely right, there are some individuals in Liquid that need to be called out and need to step up their play. I think certainly from their recent performances, Hiko is somebody who had, you know, they had a game against Envious where he didn't get a frag in like the first 10 rounds of their CT side. Right. And, you know, obviously when you're IGLing, there is like some dip to your performance, but it's not acceptable from him, especially when we know how good Hiko can be. He was, you know, in the only American team to win a major just as a rifler. Right. So Hiko definitely has that elite talent, and we've all seen that ridiculous clutch video with Anders. You know, like he's an elite player, but somehow it's not working for him right now in his head, having to call and frag at the same time.
And this is where we hope that Zeus will come in and possibly help, because Zeus is not going to come in and he's not going to in-game lead them to victory, but what he will be able to do is look at their performance and look at some of the fundamental errors they're making in CSGO and attempt to try and resolve those with the team. Much more of an out-of-the-game coach than an in-of-the-game coach, but what that does over time now, it's very new to the team, and possibly it's too new to really say if Zeus is having a positive effect yet for the team. But what you expect Zeus can bring to the team is just tidying up some of their errors.
Yeah, and certainly like SK had a very famous system of playing, you know, compared to other system teams like NIP and Flipside that, you know, play rounds for as long as they could possibly go. The combination of quite an aggressive system and a very calculated aggression in-game leader in the form of Fallen meant SK could really present quite dynamic approaches to every map, and you know that's why they're the top team in the world, and they kind of still have that with Fallen. But you have to wonder sort of to what extent is their success the product of Fallen's talents in-game? Yep. And to what extent is Zeus, you know, was responsible for some of that, and then if he was responsible for it, can he implement that same system? I think for Hiko, who's, you know, took up calling first for Nihilum last year, and it's gone reasonably well for him. I think he adapted it quite well. This is one of the things that was always great about iBuyPower, is that they were so clever. They had like steel-dazed Hiko. They had multiple players that were capable of IGLing. So Hiko always had that kind of intelligence. But I think maybe if he's got to learn a new system on top of it from sort of the Brazilian system, then that might hurt him. So yeah, he's got to be thinking about this as well while he's playing. Right, and we haven't even got onto Luminosity Gaming, but we are getting into this game. It is the pistol round coming out, and as you can say, Liquid on the CT side. So Luminosity Gaming on their T side does mean that things might be a little bit difficult for them, and it's so cliche saying, you know, that they need to win a pistol round, but when it does come to train, the pistol round, especially for the Ts, can be really influential. Absolutely, and I think, you know, Luminosity maybe not so favoured in this matchup, so getting a good start at high would really help them. Looks like they're on T side, obviously not ideal on train, but Luminosity Gaming, from the Brazilian system, you know, they might be able to show some stuff on this map because it is a map that really does get played over there. Wasn't so popular in NA really until teams like Liquid started to bring it in, but it looks like they're going in here on the side now.
Yeah, Destiny going to open things up with that kill onto EliGE, and now here come the T's. That Molotov going to burn Pimps, but Pimps doesn't care. 3 for him. All headshots with that USP, and Liquid now looking great. Yell going to come around the back, and he's going to walk straight into Nitro, so he is going to look to even things up. The 2 versus 2 here now, and Luminosity Gaming having to recover the bomb, which is currently out in the middle of the train yard. PKL and Yell going to regroup here so they can start double facing, and look at what Liquid have done. They've fallen right back here, Jack. They're going to give the site, well, I say that, to LG, but Hiko in this long corridor able to get that shot with the USP.
It's a great call from Hiko because the bomb goes down so they can drop all the way back and shoot down the alleyways. And now things are going to get pretty tough here for PKO as Pimps is sneaking up on him maybe for a flank. They're just daring him to go and plant the bomb, and that looks like exactly what he wants to have a stab at.
Yeah, he's got one behind him, one in front of him, but he takes out Hiko, so now it's all on Pimps looking for his 4K here in round 1 of this train matchup, and there it is. Easy peasy. There was no chance PKL was going to defend against that bomb plant when he was not looking the right direction. So the round goes in favor of Liquid.
Yeah, things got pretty tight there. You know, they took a 4K from Pimp, who ends up winning it, you know, 1v4, whatever. But I think it must feel so bad for LG because they read the play perfectly. You saw the Molotov going straight into connector. They knew that's exactly where Pimp would be. In fact, we're getting it on the replay here. And Pimp just stands and takes it. Like, they're just slightly ahead of the play. And rather than waiting for the Molotov to force him out, they go too early. And that leaves Pimp in position, not just to make the 3K, but he still has enough health to escape, go all the way around the back and get the flank play to win the round after Hiko makes a little mistake, peeking too early. So that's going to be a pretty big buy coming out from Liquid straight away, and JDM, of course, straight on that Scout. We know that he really, really prefers scope weapons in the Scout. Very effective here between the trains, on train, even. And the rest of the team going to go for some SMGs, a bit of a FAMAS in the hands of EliGE. Luminosity Gaming, unfortunately, so close to that bomb plant, but they didn't get it, so they are going to opt here for a full save, just to guarantee they did get it. So they're going to opt here for a full save to guarantee themselves a bomb plant, sorry, a full buy on the next round. And in fact, they will have a gun advantage even, because they'll probably get a 5 AK buy out of this, and you're still going to have JDMs here sitting on the Scout, Hiko and Nitro on UMPs, unless they can get some kills and upgrade here. But Hiko are going to open things up early, holding down the B site.
Yeah, bomb currently in SHOOWTiME's hands over towards the B Hawes, and the rest of his team are going to fake over towards the A site. Watch them come into this. Nitro's on top of this blue train. He's looking for 2. He should be able to get it. He does, but Yell able to find the return kill. JDM hits that scout shot and will finish him off with the USP. Now SHOOWTiME on the B site, able to take down Hiko, but will he expect Pimps? He will not, and so the bomb plant won't be there for LG just to try and reinforce their incoming economy.
Hey, it's a gutsy call from LG. Usually you go for a stack or something aggressive here on a force round, and instead they are going to go for a fake. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out for them because Liquid tend to leave 2 players on the B site, and you saw it right there. So if you're going to go for a one-man fake with nothing in your hands, what you're hoping for is that there's going to be a single player on the B site. You can quickly pop them at close range because they're not expecting you, or even they rotate off the site. But unfortunately, Liquid don't fall for that. But as I said, look, we've now got the 5 AK buy. And there's still a FAMAS on the hands of EliGE, so not as much advantage as they hope because that round was pretty one-sided, but they still do have that maybe slight AK advantage, and if it comes up against the FAMAS, then that headshot might come into it. So just 2 kits in the hands of Pimp and EliGE, so they're going to have to spread themselves across either bomb site. It looks like this double Ivy control here. I really like when teams do this because it makes it so much harder to smoke the player off from Ivy, and SHOOWTiME and Yell are going to have to be very, very cautious in the way that they challenge this. Meanwhile, you've still got Hiko and Pimps double holding this B site. So I think the 2-1-2 setup, and you've got EliGE here playing the fast rotates between the 2 sites on connector.
LG playing things nice and slowly. Now that they do have those guns in their hands, they want to see what they can open up here on train. Is there any advantage? And usually we see teams create that advantage through Ivy, but currently does not seem to be a possibility for LG, waiting for that smoke to disperse so that they can SHOOWTiME can try and open something up. It will be JDM with his scout here holding that angle. 40 seconds left on the clock, Jack, and I'm thinking they're calling an A push here.
Yeah, it's about the most passive that we've seen from them. That late Ivy smoke is going to make things so tough for them. So they can't go through here at all. They know at least SHOOWTiME's out there. They're going to try and get him, but SHOOWTiME is far too good for this. And that means Nitro is off the map. But that might sort of expose their hand because there was only 1 player left there in Ivy. But with the advantage now, they're going to pinch onto the A site. Yeah,
and EliGE able to pick up 1 for himself, but he does get taken down. That push through may cause disaster for Liquid, but JDM going to hold things together. Picks himself up an AK, does end up finding a kill before he gets traded back. The 2 versus 2 now, and 11 seconds on the clock. Bomb to be planted by PKL. and now he's stuck in the smoke all by himself. He needs to make a way out and start opening up the map. Going to be facing up against Hiko, and he's able to get the shot. He knows Pimps is behind him, and he's going to find the kill as well. There's the headshot, and Liquid is going to lose the round. EliGE on the board.
Absolutely massive clutch there from PKL, and I think it all started when Nitro made that push through the smoke. It's just not necessary. The time is winding down so far that if you get it wrong, you're going to push into an executing set of terrorists. And unfortunately, Luminosity hadn't gone far enough towards the B site. They could change the call. They're like, well, we've now got control of the IV area. Let's pincer in on that A site. And that's exactly what they did. And PKL, man, coming through with a good triple kill there.
Really just that push through from Liquid, through Ivy, straight into SHOOWTiME's hands, opens up the map, and A site so much harder to hold when you have less people in it. It is going to be almost quicker A play for Luminosity here, coming straight on through, but SHOOWTiME only on 6 HP is suffering, and Nitro is going to be able to finish that one off with the Deagle in hand. Here comes PKL with a AK superior weapon, and EliGE will take the hit for his team. But the bomb is currently hanging out in the B halls. EliGE haven't really shown their hand just yet.
Yeah, EliGE not really making the most of the Swag 7 there, so he's off the board, but he might whip that one out for us later. Of course, yeah, it's actually quite an effective weapon on this. As much as there are quite a lot of long-range angles between the trains, you can sneak up on them in halls there towards B. That's another pick going over. PKL, he's on 5. He's already got 2 kills himself this round. And with only 3 players left, Liquid have a pretty tough decision about how to play this. They're probably going to have to thin one player out onto each bomb site and leaving Hiko here on the rotate, and that's going to leave the B site very exposed. So if I'm Luminosity Gaming, that's where I'm going.
Well, look at what Liquid have done. 2 members have rotated to the B site. Hiko and Pimp's going to be holding this one, and it is going to be the push coming through. They have lost Nitros on the A site, but Hiko is trying to hold B side. Oh, he spotted out 3, all sitting on that ramp, so that's going to be the hand lost. EliGE now, they have to execute their plan. It is a 2 versus 2 as Hiko. He's going to fight another for himself. Mach 7 in hand, and he's making the 5-7 work as well. PKL and Shiz going to be trying their best to hold the site. They've got the better weaponry, and it is a long haul, so that is going to be Hiko falling. Pimp's the last man alive with a scout in hand, and well, he's not seeing anyone with that scope. That's going to be the round going EliGE's favor, and what a nice round as well.
Liquid nearly making the best of that force buy, and Nitro this time, that play through the smoke actually worked for him really well, but PKL just opening up that A site, no one really expecting it, and with a man advantage, I think they made the right call to head towards the B site. One thing I might have liked them to do is that they still had a Molotov in their inventory, and they didn't use it to block off Connector, and that let Hiko get in position maybe to make some plays, feed the information over, but luckily for them, they were just able to make the shots there to close out the rounds between the bomb trains, and it's unfortunate for JDM that he had only a scout, maybe an AWP might have been able to make a few of those, but with that, Liquid's money is pretty terrible.
There it is, the opening coming through. Is it SHZ? Is it Shez? What do you want to call him? I don't entirely know. Luminosity Gaming is still such a young roster and what they're showing, but what they're showing here is great stuff. 2 rounds on the trot, and they've got themselves a 2-man advantage. PKL should be able to take Nitros down with ease, and now Liquid, they're really just hoping for a backstab, possibly an exit frag to try and recover an AK.
Yeah, that's about best case scenario for them. I tell you what, Luminosity Gaming have really increased the pace of this game from the first couple of rounds where things are a bit slower, and now they're just pulling these executes so quickly. There's absolutely no respect here for the ability of people to take those very, very close range angles on the A site with the pistols. I think maybe it might have been a bit more of a safe proposition for them to come down B and just try and take some long range shots or up catwalk. But hey, it doesn't matter when they've not got any guns or Kevlar. But this round we are back on the full buy, and I think what went wrong for them last time on the full gun round really was this IV control. So I think Liquid might be a bit more cautious with the double IV. I think Nitro needs to be way more calculated with the aggression through there. And on the other side, we do finally have the AWP out for Yale, and this is a guy to watch because he is so good with this gun. JDM's been in poor form recently. They're up against the bottom-ranked team in ECS, so his return to form maybe in this game, or Yale might be continuing to sort of dominate with his gun, and they're really going to hope for a few openings from him.
And we haven't talked about it, but Luminosity Gaming currently on a dry spell as far as games are concerned. They've lost their, is it their last 8 games, 6 games in a row? It's a 2-week dry spell of not being able to win a game, and the game that they did win on the back end of that was against Millennium. So it's not necessarily inspiring. Before that, it's Complexity, who is also here, I believe, in this league. Liquid JDM going to find PKL here. He does spot the jumps, I believe. I'm not entirely sure if he did, but he's not able to land the shot. So it is a 4 versus 4 here, and they are making their way over towards the A site. But what they've done is gone straight up Pop Dog, and now they're heading towards B. Pimp's going to take Destiny down. The bomb being planted as we speak. That is 40 seconds for Liquid to make the rotates and try and get back onto the site.
I think Luminosity Gaming clearly feel like the way to win this game is with the fakes. It's so sneaky. You enter onto the A site and then just slip your way straight down Pop Dog. And they, second fake they've tried this game, so maybe there's some intel there. SHOOWTiME, he's going to find the head of JDM all the way up here from Catwalk. Pimps goes down 2 to yet another headshot, and all of a sudden, it's just Nitro left here. He's got full health, he's got a rifle, and he's got Kevlar, but unfortunately, against 3, including the AWP, I think the sensible decision for him here is probably going to be to back off Dowse. Yeah,
such sneaky play coming out of G, and this is really what you need if you're going to win some T-sided rounds on Train, is to throw the wool over your opponent's eyes and make them guess. Train, such a CT-sided map because of the way the CTs are able to rotate from site to site. It's one of the quickest rotates, if not the quickest, I believe, in the game. But amazing stuff coming out of LG. This fake, JDM finds PKL, and I think he may have spotted the 2 members also going through. So they're like, there's 2 people on A site. Let's get over here and try and hold it. It just didn't work. LG straight up pop dog. They get onto the site, and then they make the frags count.
I think it looked really strange, because JDM definitely got a glimpse of them, but he didn't even try a flick shot. I don't know why he sort of held his finger just off the trigger there, because it might have cost them. And in fact, it did, because they lost the round. So they're going to be on a massive force here. They do have this one M4 saved by Nitro. And whoa, JDM, he wants to, avenge himself. He's going to fall swiftly afterwards.
That was just more a misplay coming out of Yale. He took so long to line up his shot, and then he missed it in the end. It should still be LG's favor here. They do have the better weaponry, and they are going to start making this game a little bit more even, but never discount a trained defense. Currently 3 CTs over towards the A site, and LG looking to continue to attack it here.
Yeah, Hiko was rotating over. He tried to go head back to B, but they've decided that A is indeed where the call is coming from. No utility left really on for the CTs, so all they can do really here, Dowse, is just hide in their corners and hope they can somehow pull the shots. And while that's not going to help them either, SHOOWTiME, he's going to find the head of Pimps. Smoke going out here onto Connector, but they don't know that Nitro is boosted up. And if they don't respect this position, Dowse, it could get very hairy for them as they try and push onto the bomb train.
Yeah, 46 seconds left, so they've got all the time in the world to play with here. Just go up as a unit. You can see all 3 members on your map going up as one, watching each other's backs, holding different angles, but Nitros is going to show himself. He can't get the shot, but there it is. There's one for Nitros. Can he get SHOOWTiME as he pops his head up? He won't. SHOOWTiME able to take him down, and Hiko wasn't sneaky enough through the smoke. Gets taken down by Destiny, and LG are 5-2 here on Train.
Man, this is not the start we were expecting. LG, who definitely weren't favoured coming to this matchup, opening things up with a big round deficit and taking a couple of close gun rounds. And I think Nitro was just in a position to really make a play there. And he was so unlucky that SHOOWTiME's head never quite showed over the edge of the bomb train until he'd already been challenged by Destiny.
He held his shot, didn't he? And then he thought that maybe the head would resurface so he could get that one tap, but it was not to be. And that's where those split-second choices be so influential as far as games are concerned. Yale going to find the opening frag onto Pimps, a full gun round once more, and JDM is on that AWP. But at the moment, for these guys, it is the bomb over towards B Hawes as LG once more attempting to try and just play the long con and try and get as much map control here on Train.
You see, the innovation on this round was to put Pimps back on the AWP, and he had quite a lot of success as a secondary or even primary AWPer for Dignitas, so it's a fair play, and it's always something that they've had in their toolkit with Pimps here, but he already lost the head-to-head AWP duel against Yale, and he was one of the players that I think is really someone to watch in this matchup. So Yale getting the early advantage here. He hasn't gone head-to-head against JDM, but it might make Liquid have some second thoughts about this, and they're forced to spread their troops out, still really respecting the B site. So I think with only 2 players on the A site, including one at Ivy, and there's still plenty of smokes and Molotovs as well in the hands of the terrorists, this A site is actually quite vulnerable to a take if that's the way that Luminosity Gaming want to go. Only 40 seconds left on the clock, Dowse. They have to make a call now.
Doesn't appear like a site take is the core. Everyone is making their way out over towards the B site, but with this pop dog control and Yale looking like he's going to jump on down. Nope, he is just going to throw a flashbang and try and sell the fake. 25 seconds on the clock, and LG going to make their way down into EliGE's site, but that's not going to go Liquid's favor. They're going to be taken down one by one as the bomb planted here on the B site, and now 40 seconds left to make your move, and it's only Nitros to do it. 15 HP, it is almost impossible for him to get onto this site and actually outplay his opponents, so I assume we're going to see once more a kind of save, but he is pushing up, trying to find the exit frags. Destiny may be the first one to come into his sights. Look at that sneaky crouch, just completely negated the possibility that a headshot could come in, and he was able to find the first kill.
And what a beautifully played B bomb site take that was. They almost looked a bit like SK, they got the one pick, get favorable rotations out of it, and even though they ended up with two players rather than the one they might have been expecting on the B site. They perfectly timed the bomb take from the stairs and also up on the catwalk, and just gave Liquid absolutely no chance there in that round. It's just beautifully coordinated from them, and this is really an awful lot better than the Luminosity Gaming that we've seen. You know, the Luminosity Gaming that lost to Portuguese mixed teams at ECS.
Jack, what is happening here? The headshots of the pistols coming through. It's a 3 versus 3. The trades have come through, but Pimps, he is not content with their result. And ooh, he is a lucky man there. Hiko does get taken down in the end, but survives the initial AWP shot. A 1 versus 2, a 1 versus none. EliGE are dominating their T side 7-2 here as we head into round 10. And really, we need Liquid to change something up. It's not working out for them.
Not at all, and PKL is going so huge. He's now sitting on 16 frags. He's like clearing away the top fragger on the map right now, so he's having a really good time. Yell, obviously, getting the AWP in his hands. He's shown a few things too. I think there's still more to come from him. I think, and Pimp's been the lone bright spot for Liquid so far. It's just a real lack of discipline here on their holds, and they're being so passive so long into the rounds. I think some pushes out from B. Stop giving them all the time in the world to set up here, and in they go on the A side again.
Really nice discipline from JDM. Holds his nerve and finds the shot. Does get traded out in the end, but the advantage is Liquid's as they have the 4 versus 3, and now it's a 4 versus 2. PKL and Yell, you're meant to try and make this A site take work, and PKL will find one onto EliGE. Yell finds the other onto Nitros. It's an even game, 2 versus 2. Bomb, though, still stranded out on the site, and they're going to give up their position here and look for a sneaky play.
Luminosity's breakneck play seems to be kind of confounding Liquid, but unfortunately for them, the bomb was quite far forward in the take forces, and it's dropped on the site, and that's kind of put a real spanner in the works, because with Pimp still alive as well, there's still that AWP on the back of the site, so I think this is the right call. There's still a minute left, and the ideal play for them here is if PKL can work around and get the early drop here on Hiko, even though he's got low HP, so he needs an instant headshot really to win this duel. That's the only way he can go. And you know, it's not always common to check this spot here on the left. It's more common that you have the last defender sitting in the A bomb site. So things could get pretty tough for him. Yell is able to find Pimp, so that makes it a, well, no bomb take required.
No, just a shoulder and a knee is all Luminosity needed there to take that one back, and nice play to rotate round. They knew exactly where the CTs would be playing from down the back in those train hangars, if you want to call them that, the locker rooms, and there it is, that sneaky shoulder pick, able to take him out, and unlucky for Pimps, he wasn't able to see the man.
And Liquid had already done that kind of hold so many times, so I said they need to make a more aggressive adaptation. Well, look at Hiko here. He's got big popper pump in hand, and man, if he pushes out right now, he's got a good job of getting at least a few terrorists. He must be able to hear the footsteps, and this is his moment. Hiko going all the way up the stairs. He's going to get Showtime and drop the ball. Gets Destiny for himself too. He can't get the triple kill, but EliGE is already here off the backside as well. Yeld managed to restore a bit of normality to this round, but man, scenes, does he?
Now it's a 3 versus 2. This still is favorable for Liquid. They've got themselves an AK, and now they're going to be forcing Yell down. JDM finds SHZ, and now that is going to be Liquid finally grasping at the scoreboard, able to come back. And Hiko, who needs aim when you've got a shotgun at point blank? That is murder right there on the ladder, and that just did not go well for EliGE.
Is that what the sequel to Murder on the Dance Floor?
That is it, Murder on the Ladder. It's a vertical story full of trips, falls, and other related injuries.
JDM not taking shots for inexplicable reasons. Anyway, something like, yeah, it's exactly the adaptation that they need. You know, Hiko gets the shotgun and, you know, in a force round when someone's got a bit more money than everyone else, why not roll the dice like that? And it's come at the perfect time, and that kind of thing can really, you know, when you've lost 8 rounds in a row to Luminosity Gaming of all people, that's the kind of thing that can get you out of the dumps. But Liquid now going back to same old, it's a 4-gun round, they're double holding Ivy, and they've still got 2 players on the B site, so this really is their stock way of holding it, and I think Luminosity must be aware of this by now. They have at least done some lip service. Destiny is there, just waiting for someone to push out of the B bomb site once again, just in case, you know, Hiko gets a bit bored. Unfortunately, that smoke says that Hiko knows far too well to make that kind of play. And the difference here, of course, being in the double Ivy hold, that Nitro is backed all the way off. And if they don't check all the way to the left, if they only smoke one side, then they might have a bit more of a chance to hold it here, just as long as Nitro doesn't lose his mind and push out again.
Very weak amount of utility there for EliGE. They're not going to have everything in the world to try and make a site take for them. Still 3 Molotovs and 3 smokes in play. Also another 4 flashbangs, but that is it for the team. They've not made the full use of it, but we are going to start to see these smokes go out onto the A site.
I think the issue for them is they've got enough nades to make the execute, but it'll be if they have to do any kind of hold here, you know, what are they they going to save to try and stop the rotations from the back of A and from the connector?
Well, here we go. It's going to be Pimp's in between two, and he finds two for himself, looking for a third here, and he's going to get it. Can he go for the 4K onto PKL? He can! Now he's looking for that clutch. It's not going to happen, or maybe it will. SHOOWTiME takes down Nitros. He takes down Hiko. Oh, it's the battle of wits here. SHOOWTiME 10 HP, and Pimp's with a whole 100 here. Not taking a single shot. SHOOWTiME with 5 seconds left on the clock will retire to Ivy, but it is an incredible play coming out of Pimp's there, sorry, third team Liquid that holds him in this one.
He's just going to try and back off there and save it. Look at Pimps. He gets the double spray, but this information's still not fed over. PKL fully flashed, doesn't peek out. Yell goes perhaps not realizing. He gets falls as well, and then PKL too. And just at some point in that exchange, the information must have gone over that Pimp was in that position.
Right.
And instead, they just keep going out and challenging him one by one. And luckily for LG, they've still got plenty of money for all those rounds they won. And SHOOWTiME, well, he says, hey, it's SHOOWTiME. Pimp's going down again. So Pimp's not really winning those head-to-head AWP battles as the secondary AWP. I think they might have to rethink that because it's not been too successful for them. And with a man down, Luminosity have been quite successful against Liquid. So they're going to shuffle the deck again, and they're probably going to go to 2 holding B and 2 on A. But this means there's not really anyone playing that fast rotate on connector. So the B side might be vulnerable.
And this is where Luminosity has shown their wits here on Train. When they get that one-man advantage, they fall back, they play time, and they play the rotates that the CTs start to make. All 4 members over towards the B site now. One holding Pop Dog. SHOOWTiME has that duty, and it looks like they are going to make this play, Jack.
And Destiny had a perfect entry last time. Let's see if he can do it again, Dowse.
Here we go. JDM finds one. It is Shiz. Now he's looking for the second. That Molotov is a beauty, as it's going to hold the T's at bay, but they put it out with a bit of smoke. JDM finds another. This time it's Destiny who goes down. It's a 2 versus 3. JDM looking for some more here as he jumps up onto that banister. Nitro's currently in connector, looking for a Molotov of his own to try and force the T's into a position that he wants, but they're already in that position. Technically, no one holding out behind that Train, and with time ticking, Liquid, they need to make the call. They're going to go for the play. They won't. They're going to hold on to their guns here in round 13 and try and play for another.
And the interesting thing about that kind of bomb take is that when you're working against a likely AWP in the back of the site, I think going down ramp is actually quite a strong play because they crossed so quickly that JDM had time only to get 1 kill, and they'd reserved so much utility. They could smoke off the connector straight away. JDM doesn't really have anything he could do, although Destiny did donate his life again. So, and it's a very SK-ish kind of way to take B site, you know, maybe take some inspiration from that mighty Brazilian team. This double take onto the B site is really abusing Liquid right now, and it's tough to know what kind of adaptations they can do because they are already having 2 players on the B site by default, as opposed to a team like NIP that only have 1 player on the B site. And they've got someone playing the fast rotate from connector as well. So I think the issue here is for Liquid is that if they start losing players, then they have to sacrifice one of the 3 players in effect that can play onto the B site quickly, and then that's when things really start opening up for Luminosity, who are on the cusp of an absolutely massive T side performance.
And there's not really anyone who's really lagging behind here. Everyone is finding the frags that they need to, but PKL, he is head and shoulders above everyone with 18 on the board for himself, really stepping up for Luminosity here and holding the team ahead 9-4 in round 14. Unexpected on Train.
And look, Liquid have again invested in a second AWP for Pimp, and I just really don't think at this point the money is worth it. They've tried this several times, and each time he's either lost a head-to-head or battle or just not been in a position to make a play with it. And we know it's not because Pimp is, you know, one-dimensional player that has to have an AWP. He's still absolutely fine with the AK, and especially on T side, he'll never get that AWP out. So I think get him back on, you know, on a rifle. Ooh. And get him doing something useful.
Look at this. Currently, Luminosity are setting up smokes for the A site. Liquid looked like they were going to challenge down this long corridor that leads to Ivy. Currently, it's Nitros who's there, and he may look for the flank. No, he's going to fall back to his position. Smokes are out onto the site now. Molotovs are there as well, and Luminosity Gaming are starting to swarm to the A site. I love this smoke setup. Just allows the free bomb plant, and now we will have to see which one of these teams is better in this retake situation.
This is a completely different way of playing it. They've really slowed down from those super fast, aggressive rounds that they had earlier, and they throw the wall of smokes to go for the plant, which is perhaps a more standard way to play this than they've been showing. But but it does mean that all 5 of Liquid's players are still alive, and there's no utility to hold off the retake. Luminosity are going to have to win some gunfights.
And they need to go now. 20 seconds left on this bomb, and they have to start getting there. Everyone is starting to swarm, but it's on the wrong side of the train. JDM going to find SHOOWTiME, and it's getting close. There are kits there for Liquid, but someone's going to have to start sticking it. Hiko goes in. He finds 2 for himself. Is anyone defusing this bomb? They're not. This is going to be it blowing. There's no way JDM's got this. He's going to shoot his 5-7 in frustration. Goes down for the count, and Luminosity Gaming going to take that one for themselves.
And it was kind of a tricky situation for Luminosity to hold off that retake. The full Liquid team are alive. They had no way of stopping them from just moving through. And Liquid even had a flank play going on, but somehow Luminosity spot the flank play, and Yell's able to, you know, he has like Jedi mind tricks or something, but the flank coming around the train here from EliGE, you know, has been such a good performer for Liquid recently. EliGE not able to get that kill, and he really needed to.
Unfortunate, really, there for Team Liquid. They probably should have had it, but they weren't able to get into position in time. Bit of a glitch on the screen, but now it is the round 15, the one and the only, and we have to see if Liquid can take this to a 5-10 scoreline.
The thing that puzzles me about that retake, just to go back a bit, is I think Liquid still had utility left. You know, they could have done the opposite. They could have thrown a few smokes and Molotovs and just gone up and defused safely. And instead, they're all focusing for kills. It's just terrible communication. Somebody needs to make the call to start the defuse, and you can even meat shield them and still have 3 players left to go and make those kills. So a bit of a miscommunication here. Now Liquid are changing things up here. They're going for a very aggressive early play in Ivy. We haven't seen this since very early in the match when it didn't work out well for them at all, but this time JDM there with the AWP, he's going to take out SHOOWTiME at long range, and I think PKL's thanking his lucky stars that he wasn't poking out there.
We had this conversation earlier, Jack, me and you, in an Uber ride to the FACEIT studios about the attackers having to kind of play what the defense gives you. And when the bomb is planted, those roles definitely get reversed because the attackers are all of a sudden on the defense. Now, Nitro's is holding a nice defensive position. He takes down PKL, but that point that you're making about Liquid with the utility, they could have just set up a wall of smokes themselves, and then all of a sudden the foot, well, it's on the other, the shoe, sorry, is on the other foot. Imagine that, a foot on the other shoe.
That would be pretty odd, Dowse. I mean, I don't want to see any pictures of that. Liquid actually reading this really well, because usually when you see 2 players in Ivy, it means that an ATIC's coming in, but they've run another fake, Dowse.
Ooh, Hiko on site. He actually finds the 2 kills that was necessary. This time, Liquid, they adapt, they find the kills they need to, and they are going to get that round on the board. But this is almost a flipped scoreline. Something that you would expect on Train is that the CTs would have 10 rounds, the Ts would have 5, but this is not to be the case here in Liquid versus Luminosity.
No, and I mean, like, this is supposedly a CT-sided map. Liquid are meant to be, you know, very much the favoured team coming into this, I imagine, because Luminosity just, you know, have a real lack of experience, perhaps. They've, you know, the whole roster's only, with SHOOWTiME and Shiz, has only been together for, you know, like a month or 2. And you know, they're up against a team coached by the former coach of the best team in the world. Certainly the individual talent of these players is enormous. I don't know, you know, and somehow they've come out here with, they started off with really aggressive plays. They slowed it down, and eventually, you know, a default wall of smokes. It's just everything that you could possibly do on the T side. But look at this massive stack up here in Ivy, and Shuz, if he can land a few headshots, then this is going to be a very tough round.
There's one. He's looking for a second. He's going to find it onto Nitro's. Here comes the rest of his team to help out, but Pimps is on the back, and he's going to find the backstab for his team. JDM, he finds Shiz, and Pimps finds PKL. It's only SHOOWTiME left in a 1 versus 3. The bomb to be planted here, and he gets overwhelmed by Pimps, who finds himself the 3K in that round. Liquid, the stack, it works out for them, and that backstab from Pimps coming up from behind was really what held that all together. Yeah,
and Liquid get a much needed pistol round. And I think it's just a case of Luminosity Gaming being caught off guard by this unusual stack in Ivy and not always being sure how they should respond. Shiz does enough. He just needs to go better than 1-on-1 in that situation, and it puts the rest of his team in a chance to succeed. And yeah, he got 2 kills. Unfortunately, I think, you know, maybe Luminosity just not, you know, used to dealing with that kind of a situation, and they aren't in position to, you know, JDM gets the backstab, so not coordinated there in the way they dealt with it. So SMG's coming out across the board. It looks like EliGE is going to be the one taking one for the team with the Tech 9 as well, so that they can eventually get the AWP out for JDM, and he is a big fan of those guns. But kills going across all over the place from these forced up weapons of Luminosity Gaming, and, you know, these force guns actually can do very well against the SMG Kevlar buyer. There's not a single rifle on the side of Liquid anyway. So 2 versus 2 here, bomb's still not down, and it looks like actually having realized that both of the remaining CTs are here on the A side, site, they're going to go ahead and skip through Connector.
So hard to call a fight like that where it's just back and forth continuously until someone does end up going down. But as you said, they rotate through Connector now onto the B site, and that's going to put Luminosity in a really tricky position, because to rotate towards B, well, it would mean that they would possibly put that UMP on the line. They've got themselves a Deagle there as well. And it seems to me, Luminosity, they're thinking to themselves, right, we're on the favored side of this map, CT side. We're in the lead by quite a numerous amount of lives. We've got a bit to play with. Let's give Liquid this one. We're not going to be able to buy up into the next round anyway, or at least not the strongest of buys. So they're going to try their best and just hold on to these UMPs. And that's really a disciplined call coming out of Luminosity.
Yeah, I like it. If they lose this round, they're on a double save. So as it is, they can go into that save and start to bank for a full gun round and getting an AWP for Yell, which seems to be quite important for them. And in the meantime, they did recover UMPs on both players because they got enough kills. So making things expensive for Liquid while they try and get themselves up to the full gun and get their economy going at the start of the half. But this is exactly what Liquid needed. Things were a bit shaky there, but they avoided the danger of a reset, which when they were already down 4 or 5 rounds would have made things a bit hairy for them indeed. This is what Liquid need now. They want to try and get a bank going, make some aggressive moves here on this T side and take control of the momentum of the game. And it looks like they're going to try and get control of halls early, but look, Dowse, 3 players on the B site. So Luminosity Gaming may be expecting a fast play here on B, and that's going to put these P250s in position to get some dangerous headshots up close.
And also Kevlar brought up for Yell and Shiz there. They're going to be trying their best to hold on to the UMPs and try and be the ones to influence this game as much as possible. Yell currently holding in Pop Dog, looking to try and come up from behind.
And this is exactly the right place as well. If they come down Pop Dog to try and execute onto the A site, Yell's in position to make a lot of kills. But they may be starting to back off and think the better of that. But hey, look, Bomb is still down in spawn with a minute left. Are we actually watching Flipside, Dowse?
It seems that way. There are now 4 Luminosity members towards the B site, and the bomb, well, it's making its way there as well. It's time for a bit of a big bang on round 18 here, unless they do pop down into the dog and see what they can find. Here we go. Pimp's making his way. It is going to be this B site take. 40 seconds left on the clock, and Liquid, well, they're about to walk into a trap.
Yeah, Luminosity have totally called this. They've already got 4 players on the site. They tried to fake it by dropping a flash down the ladder room to full Yell. Yell stayed there just in case that's what they were playing. But look, 4 players here. This is going to be so tough for Liquid.
PKL immediately takes off EliGE's head, disconnected, and Destiny going to find Pimps as well. JDM raids back and gets the kill onto SHOOWTiME, but at the moment it's kills going everywhere, and Luminosity to find the most of them. They do take that round, and it was not a round that they really should have taken, but maybe the armor on Yell and Shiz, the UMP save from the previous round, was what held Luminosity in that one.
Yeah, and it's CS:GO is really a game of inches sometimes, and they managed to get a few kills in that force round, make the most of it, save a couple of UMPs, and that was all the difference. But it's also about playing to the win conditions of the guns. What's the condition for success for a P250? Get up close, and they go for the ladder and the ramp there. They know that if a B take comes in, they're there, and they don't even wait to read the map really. They know they've got limited weapons, so they're just going to stack up one site, and if they're there, they're there. If they're not, they can go for a big save, try and kill a couple of the exit fraggers, and make it through to the next round on their double save. As it is, look, they've got all the rifles they could possibly want, and Liquid are in trouble. They've just got JDM and Pimp to count on, and well, Pimp's doing well so far.
Yeah, EliGE's going to come through with his Tech 9, but he's not able to quite find the killing shot. Nitro will get that one, and Liquid, well, I don't know how they've done it, but they have. Luminosity have fallen to the side of the road, and it's just SHOOWTiME here to try and hold this one together. Bomb planted, 40 seconds to work with. No defuse kit, though, for SHOOWTiME, and he does find the opener onto Pimp, turning this into slightly more favorable. The 1 versus 3, the 1 versus 2, a flashbang to go out. Will he expect this heaven position, though, from Hiko? It's not looking likely, as he's currently looking the entirely wrong direction. And there it is. Shots come out from the window. A chance to react, but it wasn't quick enough, and SHOOWTiME will fall. And that is going to be Liquid resetting Luminosity here.
Oh, pretty painful for them. They still have a few rounds as a buffer, so they can afford to sort of weather this reset with a few saves. But man, Hiko taking a fantastic position there. I think that's really the intelligence of him showing through. And maybe this is a bit of a return to form for Hiko. He's on 12 kills in the middle of the scoreboard, so he's doing great things for his team. Luminosity Gaming gonna be very disciplined here. In fact, just a couple of Deagles and P250s across the board, so they can't really go for that B play again. They've already pulled that surprise. Instead, you're going to see SHOOWTiME pushing out really early. He's not going to find anyone so far, but EliGE maybe creep around the corner.
Maybe. EliGE finally on a gun, a rifle. He's been on the Tech 9 this entire half, weathering the storm for his team as far as keeping the economy going. And trying to get guns into the system now on a Galil. So an upgrade for the man. But PKL, his Deagle play has been incredible. Currently over towards the Heaven position, I believe, on the A site. But Liquid, they're heading over towards B. And what are you doing, SHOOWTiME? Up on that sneaky position. He's going to run into Hiko, or Hiko's going to run into him, it seems. Bomb to be planted on the B site, and they're not going to expect SHOOWTiME coming up from behind in this position. Surely, nope, Hiko is going to expect it, and he is going to take the man down. This is looking really good for Liquid here, as Hiko going to find another for himself with the help of a high HE grenade coming through. EliGE to 4, and it's all on Yell. May be able to find a single headshot to get himself an AK, but it's not to be. Liquid, they're fighting back in this game, so much more competitive than I would have anticipated at the halftime score.
Well, this is kind of more what we're expecting out of Liquids, and taking advantage of the low luminosity bar, you're going to see a bit of a stack up again onto the A bomb site, but not really working out for them this time. And yeah, SHOOWTiME caught in a really weird situation there. He saw the Molotov come out from Hiko too, so he knew perhaps it was there, but I think he was expecting a flash, and that's why he was turned away, and just let Hiko get things easy for them. Because of course, you know, when you're on those pistols, they're not good retake weapons, so I think the best he could hope for maybe was to get that kill and back off. As it is, they are going to be back onto the FAMASs now, and double AWPs coming out for the first time on PKL and Yell, who are arguably the two best players for EliGE right now, though SHOOWTiME is doing some great things. So early information got out there. They've seen that there's two players sniffing down towards the B site, and that's going to result in a rotation over from PKL to the back of this bomb site to strengthen things up a bit. And you're also going to get Yell switching around just to make sure that he can sit at the back of the bomb chains. This does leave Ivy a bit open if Liquid want to challenge it, but with the bomb still down right now, it looks like they might still be going over their options, and that might be because JDM got tagged down so much when he was legged.
Yeah, 10 times 6 seconds. That's 60 seconds left on this clock. Maths a strong point, I believe, for myself. And currently Liquid are still considering their options, holding tight towards those T-Haws to head in towards the A site, setting up their smoke positions, which makes me think that they are going to throw their smokes towards A and then try and get the bomb onto it. Will we see a wall of smokes, or will it just be some to block off the entrances? We'll have to find out, but 40 seconds left in Liquid. They're anticipating Luminosity to get a bit antsy here and start pushing through, but Luminosity, they're not going to do such thing.
Yeah, and that means that the only option here with the time left is to just go for a full A execute. They've got Molotovs as well to try and clear some of those tricky angles, but I think Shuz is going to be the one that they don't predict here.
Destiny up on the bomb train, and he's looking for Pimp. He's going to find it. Bombs on the floor, and there's only 18 seconds left. Liquid, they need to control this site, and they need to do it now. Destiny going to take down EliGE and JDM to try and plant the bomb. No, it's Nitro trying to plant the bomb. 8 seconds in JDM. He's going to exit the site. It went terribly for Liquid there, losing the bomb and then just not being able to get Destiny off that train. Spelled disaster, and Luminosity going to get a second point in this half.
And Liquid kind of leave the clock to go so far, and they don't have enough smokes ready to pull something like that. It looked like the kind of play that they would have rather had a whole wall of smokes for, but as it is, they only have one, and they don't get it quite on the bomb train, and that means that Destiny can make all of those huge kills between the trains. No one comes up to challenge him together because they're not sure of where the crossfire is coming in from Luminosity, and that's exactly what Luminosity needed. They held serve when they had only FAMASs in their hands. They've even stolen a couple of AKs for them, which are the superior gun, and based on their T-side performance, might be a point of comfort for them. And Liquid still have enough here with, you know, to try and fight back in this. They've got the AWP on JDM. That's so important for them. They've got 5 smokes, 3 Molotovs. They can execute absolutely anywhere they want. And for the first time, Luminosity are really committed to only a solo hold on the B site. And it's kind of strange that SHOOWTiME, as he's solo holding B site, rather than going for a more passive position, is right up here on the ramp. So, you know, if they rushed down there, he'd have been so done for. He's now starting to back off a bit. I think this is wiser if he's going to solo hold. And in fact, he's summoning some help from PKL once again too. So starting to spread the setup a bit more. Fairly aggressive positioning in Ivy 2 from Yell. So I think they might feel safe from an A take and start to pivot towards B.
Really interesting here for Liquid, because they have put Luminosity in a position that if Luminosity were to lose this round, their economy once more would be reset. Liquid would be on 10 rounds. They would likely get the next one. And suddenly we're looking at a very close scoreline for this first match here on Train. So Liquid, an important round if they're able to secure it. They do put Luminosity in a very interesting position as far as money is concerned. And with the men making their way over, the smokes flying out in unison, they are going to enter. But PKL, doesn't matter, finds the shot. EliGE to 4, and now the bomb's going down as we speak. It's planted, 40 seconds, but PKL going to find another. Nitro going to have his head ripped right off. And this flash right through SHOOWTiME. What are you doing? Doesn't work out. Destiny is able to find Hiko and return the favor, but it's a 4 versus 2, 4 versus 1, and Liquid, well, they're going to fall down. It's going to be Luminosity getting the retake and making it look easy really for themselves. That's the defuse coming through, and they are now 13-9.
What fantastic discipline coming out from Luminosity Gaming. And I think it's, you see SHOOWTiME instantly throwing a smoke up there onto Catwalk. And remember, every time Luminosity Gaming were capturing us and PK actually here in this great position in Z Connector, through the smoke as well, but he knew they had to be coming through there based on that smoke. Took his chances and he gets the shot, and PKL comes up again through the smoke here.
What is
and
that?
Connects onto the head of Nitro. It's absolutely mad, but he knows once again the way that this take always goes, he can get another one through the smoke. So look, Luminosity Gaming just using their game sense, their sense of where to pre-fire these angles and where people come on that standard B hit and firing through the smoke and kind of getting a bit lucky. And man, for Liquid, who are on the cusp of getting a reset and really coming back into this game, to lose 3 kills through the smoke must feel absolutely devastating.
SHOOWTiME going to find JDM here. And he's able to find the kill as well. Nitro pushing aggressively, but SHOOWTiME is able to escape. Going to throw a nade to try and keep himself alive. The bomb, it's making its way towards the B halls once more. And you know, there are sayings that when you defeat your opponent, Jack, you inherit their powers. Well, Luminosity Gaming did recently in a hard-fought battle beat SK, so maybe that is where this sudden strategical advantage that we've seen from them here on Train is coming from, and why they're looking like their Brazilian brethren all of a sudden. SHOOWTiME to find 2 for himself. It's a 4K for the man, and it's only Pimp left alive. The Deagle in hand, and he's going to enter into SHOOWTiME's domain. SHOOWTiME looking for his clutch, but it's not going to happen. Pimp with a headshot, 47 seconds, and here comes EliGE.
No ace for you today, SHOOWTiME. He's just going to have to consider his sins before he respawns for the next round. But I think Pimps knows they're here, and as soon as they see that smoke, they're going to come around the corner. That's an easy kill once you see it. There's a nade out. And, you know, Liquid were on a force buy there, and I kind of feel bad for them once again. They make the perfect call. They go towards the B side. There's only one person holding it. It's SHOOWTiME pushed all the way out, but look at them there, jumping over the smoke. He gets the 1 kill, drops off before the rest of the Liquid players can come around the corner, and he's able just to fall back and get more when they try and come in on the B side to chase him.
No.
And it's just absolutely disgusting, really, what SHOOWTiME was capable of. You know, there's no way that
Fool me once.
There's no
Shame
way
on
that
you.
he
Fool
shouldn't
me
have gone
twice. Shame on me. Fool me 3 times. What are you doing, Team Liquid? SHOOWTiME with 3 sprays through a wall, and he gets all of them. Now Destiny going to take down EliGE in a fiery pit, and Hiko going to follow as well. It doesn't look good for Liquid, as it's only JDM against 4. Make that 3 as he finds Shiz. He's going to get the bomb here, but what can he do with it? 1:20 seconds, and he's basically stuck behind the E box here. Not much to do, and flashes are reigning supreme here on the A site. SHOOWTiME in a position where he might get spotted, but he won't, and JDM is going to fall once more. It's 15-9, and Luminosity Gaming, they have got their match point.
And yeah, you might even call this an upset. It looks like Liquid struggles might be continuing on this map. I mean, they'd still have one more chance to try and fire back here, but they're forced by the best that they could give him, and it still wasn't working for them. So, Liquid, what's their last throw? The dice. They're going to only have Tech 9s for EliGE and Nitro. Hiko and Pimp's only Galil's. JDM's still getting that AWP, but he hasn't really been able to carry his team through with it in the kind of way that we might expect. The double ops coming out for you. One of the first times from Luminosity, but hey, why not? You're 15 up. Time to try these things. And Destiny, he's going to get the first kill on EliGE. SHOOWTiME again here. He's been absolutely ridiculous on this B site. The Molotov saves him. He's being a bit more cautious here now. Backing off. They're reinforcing the B site too. And although the bomb is over here, I think if they hit it, I can't see it going well.
So close to finding the head there, but he is going to find JDM on the ramp.
How
and
did
the
they
bomb,
not see each other?
It's making its way down now. Interesting scenes, I have to say, Jack. Confusing scenes, some might say. SHOOWTiME going to find Nitro, and it's just Hiko and Pimp now to try and reclaim the bomb and hold Liquid alive.
Honestly, even worse, the bomb has dropped for them too, and they've got a smoke to block it off. They kind of messed it up a little bit, and there's a free corner there, but it doesn't really matter unless someone stands in that gap and gets shot at. And
Here comes
Pimp and Hiko at least do have the Galils, but I don't know what they can do with them. SHOOWTiME's still up close, though. That's kind of a dangerous play, and that's going to leave an avenue free for this bomb to go down for Liquid. It's going to give a shot, but instead Pimp, he wants to try and get stuff out with the AWP first. He thinks he's getting instantly rushed and needs to check and trying to dance around the trains, get any shots he can. He's going to come across a fully flashed Shuz, so that'll be an easy one for him. Destiny on the other side of the map, he's going to get Hiko's head too, but now it's just Pimp. He's got 2 kills. He's going to need 3 more, and the ace clutch. It's not coming out for him, and that is going to be Luminosity Gaming taking our first map in what we can definitely say is a wee bit of an upset.
Yeah, not expected. I believed that should have went to Liquid, but it did not. And so that means that Luminosity, well, they're in a much better position as far as relegation is concerned. They're looking very good, and their performance on Train was pretty good as well. SHOOWTiME, he stepped up. PKL, what a monster as well. This team from Brazil, they're looking to make their fans, their country proud.
Yeah, SHOOWTiME was getting away with some absolutely ridiculous stuff on that B site. And then what was there backing him up, though? It wasn't just his individual plays. It's the fact Luminosity were understanding so well when to pull the rotations across to the B site, and that meant there was just never anything there for Liquid to get going. Not to mention, JDM had an off performance. We saw a couple of weird things from him, and I think they really need more from him. So the struggles for Liquid, the struggles continue. They're going on to Cobble next, which is definitely a map where they're even more heavily favoured than they were on Train. But hey, Train went over. Luminosity recently had a double overtime showing against SK of all teams on Cobble too.
Yep.
It was very tight, so we might be in for more of an upset.
Yeah, well, Liquid, they're no SK, and I know that you would love to speak minutes and hours on this matchup, and you will get the chance as we will be heading to the analyst desk next after this short break. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back.